Welcome to the Safari Yangu podcast, where we share our stories authentically, experiences that shaped us, and experiences that continue to shape us. And on today's episode, I'm super excited to host the first male on this podcast. Yes, we are thoroughly entertained and we will be. Anyway, we would like to welcome Michael Morioki. Karibu sana kwa Safari Yangu podcast.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
It's an honor. Even being told it's the first meal.
Yes.
I'm not going to disappoint.
No. The way I see it, you're going to make a very good guest. So Michael is a professional architect driven by purpose, designing spaces that go beyond structure to create opportunity, dignity, and lasting change. And with a focus on underserved communities, they use design as a tool for social impact, building not just for today, but for a more equitable future. And he will let us know about all those amazing things he's doing, and especially with his work with schools and making sure that kids get a very good learning environment through his expertise. So, karibu, Michael.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
It's a pleasure to be here. Also, in the grand scheme of things,
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the AAK, that's the Architectural Association of Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
I serve as the secretary of the Architects chapter.
Mm-hmm.
So we are going to talk about, I hope, all the ways that Kenyans are ready to embrace change, to bring dignity to the masses, and create spaces that we all are thriving and happy to live in.
Nice. I can't wait to hear about all that. So, could you probably give us a little bit background to yourself? Why architecture?
Why architecture?
Mm-hmm.
So I started off being fascinated by art.
Mm-hmm.
I started an encyclopedia series. Now I'm going back. I'm going to my youth, probably 6, 7 years, 8.
Mm-hmm.
When we didn't have YouTube, we didn't have cartoons to be, or rather, we only had cartoons showing up for 1 hour per day.
Mm-hmm.
So in such a world in the early 90s, there was very little you could do rather than either play or sit down and go through encyclopedias, books that are on your parents' bookshelf.
Mm-hmm.
So I was fascinated by an encyclopedia series similar to the Britannica. I forget the name, but it showed so much beautiful artwork, sculptures, and the world of antiquity. Things that we might be taking for granted in this day and age, because there's a whole lot of series of minimalism and all. But looking into the great artists like Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, Raphael, that's during a Renaissance stages, going through the myths of the Greeks, and then going even further and seeing the sculptures that were done by the ancient Egyptians and all. It really inspired something in me, and I found out that from that yearning that I'm a creative and an artist, and I wanted to do more in that space.
Oh, nice. So you are always an explorer from an early age.
Yeah. Sometimes people talk about DNA or calling, or there's many ways to say you are meant to be doing something. I come from a family where my grandfather was also a carpenter, and he had done some tremendous work from as early as, I think, the 50s. My father was an engineer, or still, he's still around, and that's electrical engineer. And along the way, probably due to the exposure that I just explained, when we were going through the motions of what do you want to be when you grow up, the word architect was the hardest word that I could pronounce. It was one of the words I had found in the encyclopedias, and it was something that was recurring, and I was like, who's the boss of an engineer? An architect.
Oh, wow.
I want to be that.
That's really nice. I feel like your parents didn't have such a hard time telling you what you need to be.
Yeah, it comes with as a blessing in that sense.
Yeah.
But the road, as you have started asking, how did I find myself here? The road to any of your dream jobs or any of your aspirations would be paved with a lot of sacrifices, with a lot of determination, commitment.
Yeah.
So I can only say that it's through faith or through a mental fortitude that I am happy to be here.
Mm-hmm.
It also means that the road is still not done, because you have to enjoy the journey and not the destination.
Mm-hmm.
So as I was mentioning, it might have sounded as if everything was smooth by the time I decided that this is what I'm going to do. But you have to pass your KCPEs, you have to pass your KCSEs.
True.
You have to go through 6 years of university. You have to go through those 6 years of university being told you might not be good enough, or you're failing in one aspect or the other. So being able to just persevere is the most important aspect, I believe, for any young person that might be listening to this podcast, because that's what has gotten me here. That's what my mentors used to emphasize throughout my learning phase. And that's what I keep telling myself as it is at this big age, mid-30s, trying to figure out how do we go through the 40s and 50s and achieve a huge impact and also make a living and also leave a legacy. All of these things require being present and being in the struggle.
Wow. And I like the way you've talked about perseverance, because I feel like a lot of young people, sometimes they think things come easy or they'll just be handed on to them. But it's sort of like a journey, as you've said. Yeah. It takes time. You build on your skills over and over again, and sometimes even years, as you've said. So that's a nice experience. And now you talked behind the camera, we were talking about some of the things that you've been doing, and you actually created a media sort of company called Akidatum. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
So one thing I wasn't shy of, even when I was even as I was doing all I could to achieve the best grades for this course called architecture, is I wanted to also be involved in extracurricular activities. So in university, this must have been 5th year, there was this idea that struck most of us. Most of us we were 8 students in the same class, and we realized architecture in Kenya is very hard to document. Our assignments, just to give you a background, our assignments usually require that you give a case study. You give a similar example of the project you're about to do. And when you're going through the motions of, is there a similar museum somewhere else? And this is 2012, thereabout. You realize, okay, you might know of the museums, but don't get the drawings. You might know of a few museums, but don't know all of them in Kenya. So what we came together as colleagues, classmates, was we decided to make a blog. And the blog was simple. Let's document every relevant building in Nairobi.
Oh, wow.
Relevant being either from a colonial aspect, from a cultural aspect, from a religious aspect, to educational, institutional, commercial. As long as it has an impact, an image that we can easily challenge the Western world and say, look, Kenyans do not live in huts. We do not walk around on the backs of lions. We are developed. It's just that we might have a bit of a gap. We don't know how to project our own stories. That's how we found the gap that now became Akidatum. Started off as a blog. We used to go around, take photos, put together the articles. Just the whole sequence as a magazine would be. And eventually it grew into its own company, and we have it still running. Hopefully the content will emerge to be more convenient or relevant as we are revamping the website. But that's something that I also keep very close to my heart, that the media world also gets the other side of the story, or the stories from the locals, as opposed to engaging only from a point of a third party or the Western world coming in to tell us our story.
Wow. I like that you're rewriting the narrative. And the stereotypes, because I feel like a lot of times, as you've said, people like the Western world, they like telling people's stories, and now everything is, even our own history, it's shaped by what they wrote on our behalf. And now there's something you mentioned about you guys documenting like almost buildings even in the cultural context. There was Bomas of Kenya. Could you tell us a little bit more about what you think about the Bomas of Kenya?
That's one of the most pivotal complexes that we have in terms of heritage. Okay, for starters, there is obviously the old Bomas of Kenya, which if you were born in the 90s, 80s, 70s earlier, you must have gone to a school tour where you saw the let's call it pre-colonial huts and homesteads of each community, each tribe that we have in Kenya. And it was quite informative. It was interesting to walk around an area where you're being shown the vernacular architecture, the difference, the small, minute differences, probably Maasai being more unique by being rectangular or Manyatta-esque, vis-a-vis Kikuyu, which is the Gera, being a circular shape, and seeing that every building was purposely built. It had a function that was very clear. Where we are currently with the modernization of the Bomas of Kenya is just a trend that you could say is inevitable. It's not to be 100% shunned. Though personally, I would prefer if we integrated more of the cultural aspects, the shapes that we all resonate with in our crafts. If it can be easily shown on the facades, shown in the floor plans, then I would be a big advocate of saying Bomas of Kenya is building a huge expo center which will be internationally recognized and showing the best of our identity. At the moment, I can only say it is made from a point of view of contemporary commercial viability. And more power to them if that's what they think it should look like.
Until losing our heritage.
Unless we can go with placards outside of Kenya and say they return our money. At this point, it's too late to start telling them what to do. But in future, this I would say is a message for all future architects or people involved in development for the country. The visual arts, what we see, as I mentioned, the encyclopedias that I saw sparked curiosity on what are we as human beings trying to achieve with creativity. And the answer came slowly, but it is to show that we existed. Me and you existed at a certain point. So don't be passive if you find you're being pushed to do something that is not you, or it's not the identity that is encompassed in your culture. Find a way of putting your narrative or your signature of I am here on those type of projects. It's not about ideally about the selfish aspect of I am here. It's more of the cultural expression of this is what we are right now. And this is a picture of it for it to last for a legacy for a number of years. And we are losing that when you go we go the route where the modern world is taking us. So it's a shame, but Bomas unfortunately is now almost done. Next year we'll be launching. Launching. You can't go tear down such a project at this point.
Yeah, it's kind of sad because I actually saw the conversation online a while back, and people didn't like the fact that it was brought down and now they're building something new. And probably to just also add to the same conversation, I have seen the trend of people now building mud houses and making it look cool. What do you think about that?
With mud houses, I would say it depends. You can build with anything. You can build with pure mud if it's mud and wattle. That's what you're looking for. What really matters is now the knowledge you're given either through these technical trainings that we go through, or the team that you assemble that understands the material. So I've seen, and I've been to places where even if the building was done with concrete, the finish outside is akin to mud and wattle. Like you find straws or strands of grass mixed with mud in a plaster format. But you go through the space and it feels super posh. This is a hotel that I was at in South Africa. And you could tell it was very intentional that you have the aesthetics of indigenous materials, but you have the ambience of an international grand 5-star restaurant. So it's a way in which science and art is blended. That's where you find effective functional spaces. If you just are doing it for the vibes, for the mud, just mud, then, don't be surprised if it cracks or it starts breaking apart. So if there's a lot of other techniques, that's a whole topic in itself. It's within the realm of earth blocks or earth materials, earth building materials. And earth building materials would be mud, stabilized soil blocks. You have rammed earth. Rammed earth is also another version. You just take the advantages of excavated material, that soil that you've dug from your area. The most useful ones are red loam soils or marram. You find that the composition of such soils mixes well to create more stable building materials. Past that, I don't want to go into a lot of technical aspects. It's a matter of having the right team to make sure that it is a project that is secured for years.
And in the same conversation, I've seen a lot of also, or maybe some white people involving themselves in the craft. And, they're the ones who actually brought this idea of, this is very, what do you call it? Like they found during colonization, that's exactly what Africans are doing. We're living in mud houses and they make it look so bad. And now they're going back to that and making it seem like we have discovered another thing that you can actually do.
You've actually gotten to the heart of a very deep topic. Why don't Africans follow through with their traditions or with the building techniques that were there before? In my opinion, once again, it's always complicated, but it's a perception problem. So if you look at market trends, we are all aiming to be millionaires so that we make a building or a house that looks like it comes from the Hollywood. Well, that's because of media. Media has projected this is how the Western world approves. This is what the Western world approves of. And if you compare it now to our own local media, we are trained to copy what the Western media is doing. So we are propagating the same message. The alternative would be look out for local media that shows maybe more traditional or non-conventional projects that have experimented but successfully pulled off alternative building materials. Now, you pointed out that the NGO types might come and start pushing for stabilized soil blocks. I personally would always advocate for you to use it. One aspect is that with soil blocks or anything soil related, you will reduce the cost of transportation of that excavation, excavated material. So you don't need to hire out trucks and then trucks upon trucks, and then now pay those other transporters for the logistics, then come back, backfill areas which could have been backfilled probably with materials within your site, and have that cycle continue. You can have a bit of a saving. Then you can turn the excavated soil into building materials. This is something that's very crucial because I've done also some school programs or built some buildings with the stabilized soil blocks, which have proven to reduce the cost. The hardest part of us architects, conservators, any professional, to convince a client is that this soil block, which they might have, the client might have come from a place where it was shunned upon, that it's a mud soil house, that this soil block will save you money, but it will still last as long as a stone block. Because to them, once the message has gotten to them that you are going this other way, and now the right person is coming again to tell them otherwise.
It's like, it's confusing.
Not only confusing, should I trust you now? I trusted you before. We did something. Why should I trust you the second time? I'm going to stick to what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
So there is it's a complicated situation, but everyone plays their part, and I think we should also not take it as it's a white person telling us. Let's put it as, this is the facts. It's on the table. Choose from the table. Do you want to go through the quarry system? Has a lot of compounds, or rather carbon emissions because of blasting through a quarry, going through the embodied emissions of a track that is, all those tracks are mostly dilapidated. Most of them have a cloud of fog behind them. Are you going to go through that process, supply chain process, or are you going to maintain something that you kind of can monitor and know how it works?
So do we need a mindset shift?
Yes. Can we really stay constant? Our minds need to be flexible enough to adapt to the times. Who knows? Maybe the mud or the soil revolution we are coming up with is going to cause stir, and then the lashback is backed by the political world. Say no more soil blocks. But as of now, I can tell you, I haven't seen anything else on the building construction sites that can match the cost effectiveness. And I can also assure you, the strength of the blocks can be match or even surpass certain quarry stones blocks that are done.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow. That's quite interesting, honestly. I think people have associated mud or dirt with poverty for the longest, and that's why maybe we rarely use that type of material. So
I don't blame them. As I mentioned, there's a number of projects I've handled in stabilized soil blocks. But I can give you the journey towards how I got there. We started, or rather, I personally had done a thesis in campus 6th year. The thesis being on building needs for primary schools. And during our period, we had all these conversations about putting ICT in primary schools. That would mean that the one laptop per child.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Interesting.
So I took it upon myself to do a research of all the school types that are within the region. There were 6 case studies I took. 2 within Kenya, or rather 2 within Nairobi, 2 outside Nairobi, that's different rural areas, and then 2 in Rwanda. The 2 in Nairobi were one pre-colonial one, Nairobi Primary, that's next to University of Nairobi. Nairobi Primary is built out of very colonial architecture. Like, you can see it and you feel like it should have some level of discipline just by the structure or shape of it. Compared it with Martin Luther Primary School that is in Buruburu. And Martin Luther Primary School is a typical row school design, on a stone block building. To compare it with the other 4, I have to say the other 4 had elements of earth block buildings. So lower primary school that's in Nyanza province, trying to remember the area. Lower primary school, half of the buildings are stone blocks, the other half are soil blocks. And comparing it with another school in Makindu called Ikisemei. Ikisemei Primary School, also most of these were government schools, by the way, was the most dilapidated structure I'd ever seen in the most remote of areas and was under the government with CDF funding.
Wow.
But the construction of the original school was similar to a Masai Manyata. Not to say anything against or have anything against Masai Manyatas, but it was already breaking apart, crumbling off, made of pure mud and sticks in a way that there's no window frames. Everything is just open to the elements. That building, for me, is what poverty looks like. I was just creating the premise of where our mindsets of soil is equals to poverty. After those 4 case studies, having seen them and compared them, I had to go to Rwanda just to see what they were doing right. Because they had already taken on the pilot program for one laptop per child on the side. And the 2 schools I went to were Kimisagara Primary School, the other one, Mubano Primary School. Same material. In fact, all the materials in those 2 schools I've just mentioned, the Kimisagara and Mubano, were just typically soil blocks and timber that is sewn, simple, doesn't need to be super polished and everything. But the effects, the output, I can tell you was like the difference between night and day.
Oh, wow.
It had a feeling of authenticity. That the 2 case studies in Rwanda felt like you are entering what our ancestors wanted for us.
That's interesting.
Despite the fact that, once again, it takes white people, white architects from foreign lands to come to Rwanda and engage and even push the workmanship to that level. We might be having probably an issue with tradesmen in a way that we do not find a lot of people who take pride in what they're constructing. Not to say they don't exist, but you will find it as a continuous recurring theme. So back to the poverty thing. I think poverty in the mud aspect is just an excuse we come up with. It is propagated by the perception that, yeah, my shosho or my old house used to be like this. But it isn't a matter of like really the poor are the only ones who should be using a material. It's that the people who work with the material either haven't trained themselves to be proud of the output. And that training only comes through awareness. It comes through people mobilizing each other, accepting sometimes some help from the foreigners that we find here. It's all a collaborative process.
Like a really big gap in the context of like the building world and the type of output. If you call a fundi akutengeneze, say if it's a mud house, what would be the outcome at the end of the day? So that if we were to shift from a place of now not associating it with poverty, it could be because of maybe now from an architectural sort of sense, how it's built. You could literally like take maybe this house we are in and convert it into like a mud house. So it's just about the outcome. That's the difference.
Yeah, okay. So another way of looking at it, you can give a segment of fundis the best materials, but the finish at the end of it all still looks poor. It's not a matter of the materials will magically come together and create seamless lines and create connections and waterproofing and everything automatically. It's that the training sometimes isn't enough. We also are a culture of people overselling themselves. So one of the most common phrases we hear from a fundi level would be, mi najua hiyo yote. Yeah, hiyo nimefanya.
Nipatie nitakumalizia.
Karanja. Dada niambia haraka, boss ako hapa. So we have, and not only them, I'm not going to throw a certain class of people or tradesmen under the bus. It happens with even professionals. It happens with developers. It happens. So we are in a position where because of looking for jobs, we're all hustling. You find the I keep saying pride, but the that thing that you say, I've worked to the best of my ability. Now I can go sleep. Now I can eat nyama choma. That was the best.
It's not there.
It's not there. It happens once in a while. Yeah, but I would assume most of us just want to get the job done without thinking twice about why something went wrong. And because of that, you push off the proper routine or the proper work that was meant to be done. So people say practice makes perfect. I would say perfect practice makes perfect. If you practice to be perfect, then you will find the perfection comes. But if you just practice, hey, if I keep running at every day I'm running, it doesn't mean that one day I'll be Kipchoge.
Yeah, true.
But if I run and I'm thinking, like, I have to beat myself. Yesterday I was 2 hours. Okay, I can beat myself by 20 minutes. Then one day I could be close to that.
Yeah, close. True.
Yes.
And that reminds me, I've been to different places. Like there was a time I went to Tanzania. When you look at even the type of just the most basic houses they have, you can tell there's a very big difference between how houses are built over there and here in Kenya. I feel like there's just a vibe. There's some level of intention that I don't find over here.
Oh, and the other thing is we need to travel. Not to say that today I'm not that well traveled. I'm shy about it. But if you do get the chance to go beyond the borders, it will give you a perception that breaks the mold. There's a reason why our politicians and leaders love to benchmark. It might be that they go outside and they're like, wow. And despite the fact we don't see the wow translated back here in Kenya, it does not mean that going outside should be taken in vain. If you're an artisan and you have just enough money to go across to Arusha, let's go to Arusha.
True.
It's not too far. You will see how other people take their craft seriously. You will notice the nature of work that exists outside. It might even broaden your mindset in how to approach this practice here in Kenya. Also, buy Kenya, build Kenya. Like if you go abroad and you see great things, come back and make those things here. If you keep buying things from outside, then what's the difference between Kenya and that side? You're kind of like export. You're always
importing, yeah.
But if you see something that inspires you, see a technology that can be useful for a manufacturing process here, or bring that back home, and then you'll find a way of exporting quality Kenyan-made crafts and materials.
Nice. And I would like to take you back. You talked about schools and your thesis and the fact that you went to Rwanda, you went to rural Kenya, and here in Nairobi. And I have been in a space where I was working in West Pokot a while back, and schools over there, they're in their worst conditions. Apart from kids having to walk like a lot of kilometers to get to a school, it's like, as you've said, there's very little intention in how the schools are built, or maybe even if they're using, like, say, the kind of a feel, it's like people don't care about the outcomes. For you now, working with schools now, because you've kind of helped schools get to a better space, how has that journey been like, and how does it make you feel walking into a school and thinking about a learner and being in such a state?
So I will go back to my 6 case studies and then go into what I found as a probable solution. So with the case studies, the whole gist was to figure out site planning. There's a reason why most of our classrooms are designed the way they're designed. And there's a reason why most of the classroom blocks are designed the way they're designed as rows. And there's a reason why the windows sizes are the way. There's fire safety hazards. There's documents by regulators within the Ministry of Education on how a classroom should be designed. So whenever we go into the motions of what should be done, there's already a set of rules. They're not all applicable to, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of schools within the region. But what I did find as a continuous theme is, as I mentioned, the workmanship aspect. You can use any material and it can come out splendid. You can make a space dignified just with the materials. You just now might need the professionals to assist you with the sizes of the openings, with the lighting, with the sound, the way it operates, with a school master plan, so that if there are spaces that need quiet, they'll put deeper into the field, as opposed to spaces which need which are open to the public and could be like communal halls and all. So when you think of all the different aspects, as I mentioned, the school master plan and the unit layout of a classroom, it boils down to intentionality. You're building for who? Sometimes we build for ourselves. And when I say that, I mean, selfishly, I would like to make a quick buck and maintain something in my pocket. Why am I releasing this to students? They'll be rich one day. So they're getting education. Now that's what matters.
Yeah.
But intentionality is more impacting if you are in it for the impact. It's more impacting if you are conscious about their well-being, the well-being of the students inside, the well-being of the teachers who are sacrificing a lot of their time and instilling into these children what would be the keys to their future. I would imagine the best situation is if you are doing a school in the most remote areas, do not start budgeting for, I don't know, cutting of trees or quarry stones from too far away. Look for an area that is a bit clear.
Okay.
Start with that. Just how small can we work with? Like what's the smallest area we can work with? Work with that. It will expand, and as it expands, you'll figure out how to make the school compound much more integrated and worthwhile for children. Or this is a case study I'm going to give, like my own personal project. I've done a project for a school called Jalin School. It's here in Kitisuru. The size of the land was a half acre, but it was on a triangular piece of land. Triangular in a way that looks like an arrowhead. And the complicated thing is it was also a very sloped site. And the client was very clear that they want to maximize, as far as a private school is concerned, they want to maximize their space, because as it is, they're leasing land from a neighborhood. So there was a lot of constraints based off what I was given. But one thing I made clear to the client is I have their best interests. My intentions were, I want the client to at least maintain a portion of a balance of space and for the children to be able to play, and harmony with the neighborhood, so that the building doesn't spread out to be too imposing. The solutions started coming up by themselves, but we built with with the stone blocks which are easy to source around. The school had to be a multi-story structure, but we also had a lot of excavated material. So the sequence of our work was to make sure that we can take advantage of the excavated material. So where we need to level the ground, level the ground. Where we need to make soil blocks from this excavated soil, we made soil blocks. Where we need to do rainwater channeling, because it's a slope, we did that. If it's to recycle or to find ways to maintain the materials or anything that was also beyond scope, we've made sure that it could fit within that space. And I think it's quite a lovely landmark right now. The children love it. And it's one of those situations where after it was done, I could tell my intentions had been fulfilled, because even some kids were like, "You're the one who drew this. Wow." And I was like, "No, I didn't only draw this. It's been to say multiple times, and a lot of battles. But you thinking that that's what I'll do. Good for you. Thank you for that." So the teachers love it also, because the space does feel like it can accommodate a larger team. And where you'd find probably they were working with a rented space and they're moving into this new large establishment. They get to feel as if they belong to this school. And that sense of belonging is what once again becomes the inspiration for them to teach the best, teach their best abilities to the students that are within the school. So yeah, it's a full cycle. Like, if you start well, I think it always feeds into the goodwill of other people, and it will come back twofold, threefold, however much.
Wow.
Yeah.
That must be fulfilling work.
It is also a lot of dedication. That one I have to use the word dedication. You find we were always clashing with fundis, but it was also worth it because the same fundis, after it's done, they're like, oh, this is what you meant. This
Kumbe.
Enyewe hapo ulifikiria. Enyewe hapo
you are onto something.
I thought we lost each other, but clearly,
yeah, we are. Nice. And do you think the government is doing enough in the context of schools, especially like rural schools? Is it investing enough? And how can maybe the government also collaborate with people like you to give schools a better feel and learners a better learning experience?
With government, it's always a tricky vehicle to development. Not to say tricky that we should not have faith in them. Tricky in the essence of we already know how public procurements go, and in this country of ours, which we want to make great, it is the type of place. Yeah, you're trying to make it great.
I agree.
The situation is that the process of procurement is still intact. I don't think anything on paper has a lot of issues. The issue is in the implementation or the leaders that are within the system. That being said, I am more inclined towards what us as professionals or goodwill citizens can do for the community within our rights. So I'm also the secretary of the architects chapter, as I mentioned, and there is initiatives within the AAK which are all geared towards development. So AAK is the Architectural Association of Kenya. There's an initiative called the Grow a Classroom. It's very much active on the front of school development, doing master plans, taking care of how students think about the natural environment. So Grow a Classroom is the initiative. It started in 2022. The aim is to get 55,000 schools to be upgraded within 10 years.
Wow.
So if you want to hold AK accountable, I don't know if I'm still there by then, but 2032, we have a target of 55,000 schools. And
it's a big number.
Yeah. The idea, as I mentioned, even from the name itself, grow. Grow is the green sustainability aspect of it. So growing trees, plantations, doing tree planting. This is in line and together with the efforts of our sponsors who mostly come from the building sector or rather building material sector. We all chip in, go to different schools in remote areas, the ones which are dilapidated, as I mentioned. And then we try make a master plan. We give a master plan competition not only to the professionals, even to the kids themselves, because we want their ownership. We want to see what the imagination can bring.
Nice.
Bring out. So if they are in a city or in a town, we have many cities, and they've seen a 5-story building and they're thinking, school needs to 5-story building. Then that's exactly what we will be picking up and going like, okay, these people, there's some future architects here, the future construction workers, construction managers, and all these different professionals. And with that engagement, on the day that you're announcing the master plan winner or showing what the master plan will look like, is a day that we do a tree planting process with the kids being placed, being at the front row with us, so that it bestows onto them the tree planting mindset, being conscious about
the environment.
So all these things are meant to be building up to effective change mentally, as you said, mind shift. Because the young generation, the more they adopt this, the more they understand that things happen because human beings are here. It's not that things just fall out of the sky. And at the same time, they feel like they are seen, because some schools, as I mentioned, Ikisemei was so dilapidated. Oh, I wish I'll look forward if you can put
pictures. Yeah, I can add that.
I'm even thinking after this podcast, I have to go and see how it's doing so far and push for some changes in that area. So such would be the angle I would go. Use your associations, use your resident associations again. Gather like-minded people into the same rooms. Find NGOs if you don't have funding. Find sponsors if you don't have. But we all can do something at the bare minimum for our buildings. Buildings don't have voices, and the most they do in terms of vocalizing if their issues is in buildings having cracks. It's in buildings having mold. It's in buildings falling down. You only see the worst of construction because that's the time that it has given in. But before then, being conscious citizens, let's be more proactive.
And I like the idea of involving the community, even the kids themselves, like whether it's tree planting and all that. We used to do that when we were younger. Ni kama siku hizi the culture is not there.
Playgrounds muliiba. Now, you don't, like, honestly, grew up in Buruburu. Buruburu had a neighborhood playground, and the playground was a sort of area that was demarcated just for light plants, even if it's a hedge. You'd be called for one of those we used to call it Kenyatta Day and one of those holidays. You do some plantations along the edges of your playground. Nowadays, do you have playgrounds? Me, I only see towers.
And that reminds me, every time I walk into homes, I usually wonder, kwani the government can't come up with an initiative, even if you have like a 50 by 100, kila mtu apande miti tano, you know, like.
This is what you are left with. We have snake
plants
in our houses, and we call it tree planting.
I feel called out. That's sad.
The issue is we are waiting for someone else to save us.
Yeah,
and
true.
We're not so lucky to be with a benevolent system at the moment. Or benevolent might be too heavy. We don't have a system that is favoring us right now. If we were in Rwanda, you know, Rwanda has a national cleaning.
Yeah, they clean.
Day where it's a monthly thing where they go through the streets. And I don't know, I haven't been there during such a period, but I'd love to participate. If it's but now here in Kenya, if you find a neighborhood you can mobilize, just one neighborhood. I'm not talking about the city. One
neighborhood
that would be ready to wake up for one day and tell each other, you know what? For this 500 meters road, we are not leaving a single piece of garbage.
Yeah.
Just that. If you can show me one neighborhood like that, we need to award them. We probably need to vote for everyone there to be our leaders.
Wow. Yeah. And it kind of reminds me also about, like, right now Kenya is experiencing like a lot of rain, kunakuwa na floods. And I feel like there's definitely a bigger issue with the system and the government and all that. But even on a personal level, people keep throwing trash all over. Zenye zinafunga hizo drainages, like, we could definitely do better.
Yeah, well, I also am culpable to sharing that meme. I know exactly what image you're describing, garbage being thrown aside.
Yeah.
I would say we have a bigger problem than the garbage throwing, but that's the icing on the cake.
On the cake,
and icing is on the cake. It's not that it's icing on the cake that doesn't exist. participate in our own detriment as citizens.
True.
The bigger one that I was mentioning, I was alluding to, is that infrastructure-wise, our roads are built without side pavements.
True.
The little that I know of when it comes to drainage, stormwater drainage channels, is most of them are done not to standard. That is, the sizing isn't following a proportional sizing based off the hardscape. And by hardscape, I mean if it's in Nairobi CBD or if it's neighborhoods within Nairobi, because of the lack of playgrounds and green areas, we find all the gray areas does not let water seep in. So if it's not going into the ground, flowing through or above the ground. Therefore, the drainage channels which are provided are not sized to take all these different developments, all the water that's coming from these different environments, the developments. So, as it is, we are in a position that we either need to go backwards before we go forwards. That is, we create a plan for upgrading all the roads infrastructure. That's all the drainage channels, sewer lines, even the power lines, which usually are put at the top. During rains, we find that we are going through a lot of blackouts because some trees either fall on top of the lines. All these things, if you're in a modernized world, they would be placed in sleeves under the road. And those sleeves would be wide enough for future technology. Who knows? We might be creating something new, some new form of infrastructure that will require extra space. Maybe we don't, but if you don't provide for that provision, we'll end up putting more things at the top of the roads, and then we have this cluttered aesthetic when you're driving through the roads. You only see power lines, telephone lines, sometimes fiber, and you wonder, is this place really, it feels temporary or shanty-like because of just the aesthetics. So utility and the aesthetics are very important too. Maintaining the urbanscape, and urbanscape in general is what we are suffering from.
And that means if we need to get to a better place, we need better leadership too. People who are intentional enough.
It is intention, once again, is the most vital of places to start. Without the right intentions, there's no way we will end up with the right solutions.
That's true.
Right intentions will bring us to right solutions. Wrong intentions will lead us to wrong solutions and wrong conclusions even. So leadership is very important. That means your civic education, your positioning as a podcaster in this situation, or as a voice for all the friends or the ladies that you represent, is vital in choosing some individuals who will speak on your behalf.
That's true.
And even if the time comes and it's your time, you should have at least listened into all the other people's problems and be able to pick with the right intentions again. What's the best situation for all of us? Instead of what's the best situation for me?
For me, yeah.
And that, I feel we are stuck on that loop.
Yeah, that's very true.
Everyone entering is me. No, I'm speaking for you. Come on, don't you know? I got you.
Very surface level.
But the moment they are inside, phone calls are they go straight to.
Quite sad. I hope watu wako kadi.
Kadi.
Mi niko kadi, by the way. Yeah, honestly, because I think if we actually don't choose better going forward, tutaendelea kuswim in Nairobi. Vile saizi watu wanaswim kwa maji ya mvua.
Biashara pia. Job creation. Sasa mtoke na Uber boats. It is job creation.
We need to think outside the box. Hey, nayo, I hope umesha inspire mtu hapo hivyo akuje na boat yake. So anyway, that said, what has been like the most challenging part of this type of work, the work you do?
So I have to take you through what roles I'm engaging in once again. As I'm the secretary of the architects chapter, that has its own headaches in the leadership front, because once again, it's a sort of thankless job. What we were alluding to just right now was that we need leaders who think in communal terms.
Yeah.
That means being a servant leader. It's a style. True. It's something that we are usually given a talk on when you enter the KE through the lectured process. So servant leadership is basically putting yourself not necessarily last, but putting others before yourself. Last means that you're last, and that's fine. But putting others before yourself is that instead of this money going through my account so that it gets to be used, which creates a situation where I am tempted.
Yeah.
You let it be that it goes straight to the payroll of your, if it's employees, it goes straight to employees. It goes straight to the projects for the community. It goes straight to where it needs to go.
Yeah.
And then you are last. You're like, if that's the case, you have to be last. If it's a matter of getting a debate going on, you allow others to air their voices. They might be wrong, and that's fine. Let the opinions be stated, because after it's out, with your patience, you're able to now, one, know who you're representing, but two, know how to reply and respond without a reaction or without a knee-jerk feeling of this person is wrong, I need to show them that it's good that they're speaking, because our teachers taught us that kuuliza si ujinga.
True.
Kuuliza si ujinga is that you only learn after expressing yourself. So that servant leadership is at times a bit a pill to swallow, because as I mentioned, sometimes you hear some really low inside, like the insights are low minded, or like it comes from a negative position instead of talking as if you want to debate. So servant leadership is hard, but also let's go to the advantages. You find that you engage with like-minded people much faster because there's a safe space that's created, and you find solutions faster because they will be more than happy to bring the right thoughts on the table. The other side now, private practice. I run a company called Experience Art. That's the one that handled the school project I mentioned. Experience Art is geared towards African artistic expressionism, finding ways to use the crafts and explore them in the 3D spaces such that it can be integrated even in corporate settings, interiors, exteriors, architecturally, even when it comes to any level of design. The harder part of running a farm would be you are always guiding people, sometimes from your best interests, but once again, putting servants, putting yourself on a servant role as a leader is
not easy.
It's not easy, but it is crucial and it is worthwhile after the job has come to an end.
Oh, servant leadership. I think that does not apply to a lot of politicians out here. They could probably learn a thing or two.
Sometimes, as we have pointed out, that we all know what is meant to be done right, but we end up having opposing opinions, and that's fine. It's a world that we live in.
Quite sad. And so, what would be like your parting shot, especially for somebody who would want to maybe sort of who is inclined to take up architecture? What is that one thing you would tell them, and how has this sort of work impacted you on a personal level?
If you are planning to choose architecture, yeah, think about it. Well, okay. For anyone that comes to me for mentorship or wants to be given a guide on whether it's a career path or if it's that they decide it's architecture, I would just tell them, hey, look, number one, I don't know where you come from. I don't know what is your calling, but I'm seeing you here. So you being here means that you just need a push or clarity. If it's clarity you seek, the most we can do is go through what would you like to see in 5 years. If your mindset in 5 years is quick money, short-term goals, that kind of thing, I'll tell you, look, some of these careers will not give you that. It might give you. Some people are lucky. You get what you're asking for with, let's say, architecture or anything. You might find a big client all of a sudden. But for most of us, the grind or the road to success is a continuous journey, and you have to fall in love with the journey. Yeah, it's the journey is more important than destination. I have to put it that way. So for starters, it's have a clear mindset of what your goals are. If it's to be financially stable, figure out business skills, focus on business skills, go that direction. If your heart is in construction, in shared spaces, it's in expression, like an artist, then the idea to tell you is learn the business skills. Don't ever neglect that.
Yeah.
But maintain a long-term mindset that it may not be tomorrow. And because you're on a long-term mindset, some of these things, like fast money, could come somewhere there, but it won't deter you. But if you're on a short-term mindset, you'll always be looking for the next big deal.
Yeah.
Next big deal. And if that is your route, but more power to you. The ones for the long term, more power to you. But mostly, if you ask me, the long journey, being in love with it, that's where it's at.
Wow. It's the process. And what's that one thing you would want to see change in the architectural world here in Kenya?
In Kenya, what I'm developing with at least my practice, because we are looking into integrating all the lessons for African indigenous styles, all the lessons that are within the modern techniques of construction, and then finding a sustainable source of clients who are operating with the same mindset. What I would expect with such an effect is that we have a Kenya that when you fly across the world and you land in JKIA, you truly say this is Kenya, this is home, and not a copy of the same glass building blocks, same tall towers, same same everything that you find in other cities across the world. So having a strong identity where you're like, woof, okay, this neighborhood makes me feel like a trauma.
Yeah.
Or
Feels like home.
Yeah, this neighborhood looks like Maasai futuristic mindset that's going on.
Yeah.
So that's a built environment for me. That's what I would be very vocal on behalf of other building professionals, that we should not be shy of our identity.
Okay.
And yeah, hopefully on the developer side and user side, you'll also be partisan to this change, and create something unique that people go like, that place looks like it's thriving. Yeah.
Nice. And where can people find your work, or if they wanted to work with you?
So you can find me on LinkedIn as Michael Madenge. can find me on Instagram as Michael Morioki. And you can still see me in action with the AK's Architects chapter. We're having Awards of Excellence coming up. Later on this year, we are going to have Nairobi Biennale. Nairobi Biennale is going to be at ASK Showground during September. Please come through. We're going to bring all other associations in Africa, many other investors in the built environment, and make it a grand old time celebrating African culture. So feel free to reach out. And yeah, also akidatum.com. That's the media company.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michael, for sharing your safari.
Shukran.
We appreciate you honestly coming over here and talking about your journey. And I think for me, the biggest takeaway has been how you're using your expertise to dignify classrooms for learners and to make sure that, they're having the best of experiences because a learning environment is the most basic thing you can give a child. And to make it dignified means you are giving them opportunities for now and the future. So thank you. That's a very interesting journey.
A pleasure. And yes, looking forward to more impact in this world.
Nice. Until the next one, I'm your host, Miss Kimaru. Bye-bye.